Welcome everyone. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to be here. We are doing a recap of our 5-day summit, and I am just going to tell you, if you missed this summit, you need to watch today's recap and watch all the replays because it was phenomenal. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Malia and I am your captain for today. Welcome to the ship, the She Has Infinite Potential panel. And today I have with me Kristen and Anne, and we are going to be recapping the amazing summit. We have some exciting announcements for you. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to just relive the goodness that happened last week, okay? So Anne, Kristen, introduce yourselves real quickly, and then we'll go ahead and get into our summit recap.
I'll go first. Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm the, copywriting ghostwriter, and I help people make words, even though I'm failing a little bit right now. But that's okay. That's what happens in lives. And I'm really excited to be here for our summit recap because there were so many mind-blowing moments that I know we're going to get into. So hello, everyone.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Anne?
Hi, everyone. I'm Anne. I'm a career coach, and I work with students to help them land their first internship or full-time job. And I work with professionals who are making a really big career transition. My goal is just help you create the life and the career that you want, not the one that you think you deserve or you think, that you have right now. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And my name is Malia Lim. I'm the founder and CEO of Savvy Leader. Companies hire me to provide professional training to women and ally leaders, helping women advance in male-dominant industries. So that is us. And today we are going to recap. So we had 5 amazing days. I mean, this panel of experts. So there's 9 panelists, 9 experts on this panel, and they just came with it and dropped gems in such short segments. I mean, each day was only 30 minutes, but they were jam-packed with valuable information that's going to help transform your life and help you tap into your infinite potential. And so I think we have a couple reviews. And do you want to share one of the reviews before we get into the meat and potatoes of the summit? Let's see what you guys said about the week.
Yeah, I want to just have a really big shout out and thank you to everybody who showed up for one of our summit lives last week and for filling out our ship form. The form is great. You let us know what we should talk about in future lives. Do you know what I mean? Like what really resonated with you from all of the talks. And then thank you to everybody who wrote a testimonial. So I'm going to read 2 of them right now, just because they were really touched us and we were so happy to receive them. So thank you to the 2 people who wrote these so much. The first one says, I don't have a lot of time to jump on lives or listen to podcasts. So I loved the fast-paced, energetic format, jam-packed with great information and action items that I can do today, all in 30 minutes. In comedy, we strive to be brief, bright, and light. You nailed it. So many thanks for that review. And then our second review says, many job seekers would say they have gone to all the seminars and webinars and know it all already. What the summits have proved to me is that there's always something to be learned, and you just have to pay attention and pick up on it. There's so much valuable information, and you have to have open ears to hear it. Thank you so much for all the wonderful advice and help.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Doesn't that just it gives me that warm and fuzzy feeling because we came together on a mission to really help women move forward in the things that are holding them back. And so just to know that we can deliver that in a concise, very impactful, influential way tells us that we're heading our ship in the right direction. I love it so much. So we had 5 days. Our first day was a kickoff. It was amongst stuff. We're always talking, but let's start with day 2. Day 2 was super powerful with Chloe, the brand scientist, and Dr. Farzana talking about imposter syndrome, right? So some of the I have my notes, guys. I'm not a hard drive, right? So some of my notes here, like when you feel imposter syndrome, it's a reaction to the environment that's around you. Right. So it's oftentimes your body trying to keep you safe. Those are survival tactics, those, conforming to what success looks like and trying to fit the masculine mold. but it's losing you. And so your body is in a bit of a conflict, right? And you can't just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, like be better, be more confident. Those things are not going to work. And so it's really about, Dr. Farzana coins this, a constellation of mentors and support around you that's going to help you help your light shine. What else do we have? The game is rigged, ladies. We cannot out men it being a man. That's why we're feeling so imposter syndrome. So in tech spaces and engineering and all of these hard sciences, especially, we find ourselves trying to be the man for the men and lead men. And these are shoes that are just not meant to be filled. We're supposed to have some heels on, ladies, right? And so I just want to emphasize, like, it's okay to be yourself and bring that feminine energy and who you are as a unique individual. And that almost was an undertone of this whole week of just really being clear on who you are, loving that person, bringing that person out in her fullness to the world. And it started with imposter syndrome. That discussion was amazing, right? Any gems that really stuck out to you, Kristen?
For me, I like this kind of wrecked my world a little bit in a good way, where I was like, okay, so the imposter syndrome myth, right, is what they talked about, and how it comes in from outside. Like, we don't have that thing ourselves where we're like, I'm not good enough. I can never do this because of the way I am or how I dress or like my personality. But when other people are constantly telling us, just get over yourself, just do, like, you be more confident, that's not actually helpful to us. It's harmful to us. And I was like, that was a real big light bulb moment for me.
I love that. What about you, Anne?
I think the biggest moment, or the quote that I remember, was Chloe saying, like, imposter syndrome is your body's reaction to the environment in which you're in, which was like a light bulb moment to me. And so I guess the question I've been asking myself more often in the last week is like, is this the environment I want to be in? Do I feel like I can be myself? Do I feel comfortable here? And I'm started to consciously remove myself from places where I don't feel comfortable or that I can be myself. And it was just a total mindset shift.
Wow. That is so empowering. That is so empowering. Let us know in the chat what you guys got from the imposter syndrome session. One of the things that I loved was the words, right? Instead of underrepresented, undervalued, right? It just the small words that we use can really change how we see ourselves and how other people see us. And so that was something that was really big for me, is just changing the language. And that was a message that continued throughout the week. So after imposter syndrome, which was phenomenal, what did we have? What was our second session? I think it was on money.
So money,
right?
money.
Yep.
Money with Kirsten and Christine. I got it.
Yeah.
These ladies came through, and it wasn't just money, right? It was about the women standing in our power and like power positions, like physically standing in our power as well as like figuratively. I did not know that women were better with money until that's it. I mean, I had a hunch, we all think that we're a little bit better, but I didn't know. And so Christine really gave us some facts and some figures, and she gave us some exercises that I've started using. So what was one of them? To schedule monthly to have like a money review where you look at your money, but from a point of gratitude, right? We're able to create financial income. And what does that mean for our family? What does that mean for the things that we can purchase that brings us joy, right? And so just being grateful for all of those things changes the perspective of this money being a gift and a blessing, right? Rather than this thing that I'm told I'm not good with and I want to shy away from. And so that really, I felt like, gave us permission to step into the power and authority that we are good with money, and we're probably better with money than our male counterparts. And then Kirsten talking about our power positions, right? The way that we speak, the way that we hold ourselves. And this comes across when we're in meetings with men, especially talking about money. We have to be very clear and objective and be confident in our stance. And these things go together. We're calling it money, but it's all about the power that we have. And I just loved that conversation. So, Anne and Kristen, what were some of the takeaways that you guys got from that session?
Do you want to go first, Anne? Oh, maybe she can't hear us. Okay, I'll go then. So I would say that I don't know, like I just reframing the idea of money helped me so much because there's so much shame around the idea of like I don't earn enough. I could be making more. Why aren't my prices higher? Which your prices should be higher. Okay, I get that. Like I tell people all the time to raise their prices because I know how valuable they are from an objective standpoint. But also, it's one of those things where we need to be thankful. We need to say, I am good at earning money, right? Like whatever you have, you went out, you got it. So acknowledge that. So I've been really thinking about that every day and just also feeling that gratitude for where we're at.
I love that. And that's something that Kirsten had us do is like say, I'm good with money. I'm good at earning money. And what we don't do is say these things out loud to ourselves. As leaders, we want to leave a legacy, right? And a legacy is the story of who you were as a leader. But if we're not saying that story out loud every day to ourselves, are we truly writing it? Right. And so I want to challenge everybody that's watching the summit replays and watching our recap to start saying these words to yourself, right? To start speaking. Oh, we lost Anna. Okay. To start speaking these powerful words to yourself, and so that you can tap into your potential because it's inside of you, right? And it takes repetition. It takes practice to bring it out. Kirsten, we were just talking about those power positions and how to speak more confidently. So happy to have you. Tell us, what was one of the main things that you enjoyed sharing during your session last week?
I really loved being able to share the physicality of the work with people. The fact that, sitting up, lifting the sternum, lowering your shoulders, that actually how you're holding your body changes the way people perceive you and changes how you present yourself. What I really loved was hearing about how good women are with money, because honestly, those statistics surprised me. I was thrilled to hear that.
Like, we need to go run down the street with a banner so everybody knows.
Yes.
So I don't think enough people know that. Oh, wonderful. And Kirsten, will you introduce yourself for the folks that don't know you?
So I'm Kirsten Rourke, CEO and founder of Rourke Training, and all of my work is about the ongoing mastery of presenting and speaking skills. That's everything that I do.
I love it. So ladies, let's move into our power position so we can communicate our confidence and authority. Like we're all like,
I know the shoulders go back like right away. Like floof.
Little shoulder shimmy.
I love it. And thank you for coming back on.
I need a PowerPoint pose to tell my computer to not crash when I'm in the middle of a LinkedIn Live.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, it happens. I jumped right back on.
Let us know from the money and power session that Kirsten and Christine gave us. What was one of the takeaways that you felt was really valuable?
So I don't know if people knew, but I was watching the live furiously typing pages of notes. So I'll read you my favorite little thing that I wrote down. I love that Christine said women are great with money. And then I also love that she said, on average, women tend to save more and outperform men consistently, which is not even something I actually knew. And I think it's because, I personally think it's because I'm very willing to be patient. Like I'm willing to come up with a financial plan, and I don't check the stock market every day. I check it like maybe once every 3 or 6 months and I rebalance, but like I sit on it. And that was just so surprising to me. And it made me feel amazing, actually, going to be honest with you. Just like, oh my gosh, okay, cool. We're doing something right. Yeah.
I love that. And it's so great, the diversity that this panel offers, because it has moments like that where you're just like, we're learning from each other. even. And Anne is like, oh, pat myself on the back a little bit. I didn't know I was doing a good job. That's wonderful. And that's the type of aha moments that we're hoping you all are receiving as you're joining us on our ship. Such a good summit. I'm literally thrilled about the money session. I've started doing it, and I'm like changing the way that I'm making some of my purchasing decisions. Like it's all that quickly, and I feel more empowered and grateful to spend money on my hair and other fancy things that I love, right? Because that's what we deserve. We work really hard for that. I love it. So what was our next session after that? I think it was Kristen.
With Stephanie. Coach Stephanie J. And we talked about self-advocacy through consistency. And, we were preparing, and I did not realize, you're like, I'm in this. I'm thinking about all the facts. I'm thinking about all the things that we're going to share, but you don't know, okay, people are going to be writing in and saying like, oh, my father damaged me by telling me that I wasn't good enough or that I wasn't smart enough. And it really has caused me to reflect, right? And to look at this topic with fresh eyes. And so one of the things that we talked about that I just want to double down on is that you cannot change who you are, and it is wrong for other people to try to make you feel that you need to change in order to fit in. And that's one of the things that we talked about a lot, because that is such an issue, especially for women in male-dominant workplaces, where they're like, oh, your hair doesn't look the way we want, or your clothes are too flashy. I'm sorry, have you ever told a man that his clothes were too flashy? I feel like the answer is no. So it was one of those things where we're like, dress the way you want, be who you are. There's only one you, and the world really needs you. Can you change and get healthier and do better over time? Sure, but trying to like rearrange your DNA to make someone else happy is never going to work.
It's never going to work. Anne found this amazing statistic about, what was it, Anne? Like your chances of being born is like 1 in a trillion or something.
Yeah, it's like an insane amount of zeros. Like the odds that you specifically are going to come into being are so astronomical. Do you know? And like there's that Oscar Wilde quote that I really like. It's like, be yourself, everyone else is already taken.
Yeah.
And
I love Oscar
I don't know if you've ever maybe other people you'd put in the chat if you've done this, but like I know that I've spent many years trying to be someone I'm not, and it is very, very exhausting for me. Like it is so much energy to always like be like, am I acting a certain way? Do you know what I mean? Am I like, it's like sort of like when I play poker, like I have to keep this poker face on for a really long time, and it is so tiring. And I'd rather not do that in my daily life. I'd rather just come across as me.
I can't. That's why I can't. No,
I'm the same. Everything I feel is on my face, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I think, Anne, that's an interesting point, and I'm just gonna like go out on a tangent right now, because the topic of code switching, I did not know that was like a coined term that other people were experiencing. Especially, it's more common for people of color in corporate spaces, but I had always called it putting on the face. You put on your bra in the morning and you put on your face and you go to work and you be that other person. And it is exhausting. And me and my friends who are all of color, we talk about that experience. And like when you get off of work, how you can finally let your guard down, how you can become yourself again. And so to anybody listening, if you feel like you have to kind of put yourself in a box in order to be successful at work, this is your sign that you need to find ways out of that box so that you can become yourself. Because hear it from us, it is exhausting, it's not sustainable, and it's not healthy for you in the long run, right? So get the support that you need right now, but look for ways by first watching the replays of all the summit, look for more ways to be able to help yourself come out of that, because it is a reality for a lot of people. And like Anna, it's exhausting to be somebody that you're not, but how powerful it will be to be who you are and to be that fully and unapologetically. Imagine what that's going to be. That is where we want you to be going. Kirsten, what was one of your best takeaways from the self-advocacy session?
I just loved the positive energy of it and the support. I mean, the whole summit really had it, but especially that day, there was such a clear invitation for the audience to just accept themselves, be present, own their voice. And I mean, Kristen has always been a killer advocate for just being who you are and embracing that. And it's such a gift. It's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that in the audience. I see that it's relating with the chat. The chat is having a good time with this. And I think that we need that. We need to hear it. We need to feel it. And that's the power of community. And that's the power of hearing other voices, somebody saying, no, I see you. I see you and you're welcome here.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
So good.
And everybody, you are welcome here on the ship.
You are.
If we didn't tell you that, I want to tell you that first. You are welcome here on the ship. And I think we're going to have another panelist join us in a couple of seconds. So before we bring her on, I just want to make a quick announcement because we have a few. If you have not filled out our survey, please do tell us how we're doing. And we will be happy to send you a replay of all the summit. So the link will be put into the chat. It will be around. So just a quick announcement for you guys before we move on. Yeah, there we go. There's our link. Just a quick announcement for you guys. It really helps us make sure that we're serving you guys. And we're doing things that are going to help move you forward because that is ultimately our highest goal. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for that. So our last day, and Dr. Farzana, another amazing panelist. We're one of these days we're gonna get all of the ship on. Can we have any tiles on StreamYard? I don't even know.
Just be the Brady Bunch. Yeah, it'll be the Brady Bunch.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Farzana, for joining us. I want to know, just from the whole week, Dr. Farzana, what was one of the biggest takeaways that you had before we go into the last day of Anne's session on career? Oh, you're on mute, Dr. Farzana.
Hello, everyone. It was an amazing experience to be on this panel and how it rolled out. Like, this is called How You Can Take Action Rapidly. The biggest takeaway is the money. When Christine Bees talk about money and how you need to own it, with being in the field and profession, and I know women make 70 cents on every dollar or 68 cents on every dollar, it is still, when it comes to personally asking for money, it is still a challenge. And we have been mentally conditioned. I know every time I want to purchase a car, I'm told, take someone with you, a male. If it's not your brother, rent a colleague, rent someone else and take it with you. And that goes in asking for money on your projects and on your salary also. So the biggest takeaway is that, but I will say there were so many nuggets every day. Listening to Stephanie and listening to Chloe on the imposter syndrome and listening to you, Malia, that how we are still facing the same generation old struggle for women in non-traditional fields of engineering and technology and mathematics and science. And now you have a daughter. Now we question, will their generation have anything better? Because it looked like we have ingrained these conformities, these social conformities in ourselves. So I will encourage everyone who is listening to us that look at the recap, go through all the sessions and see that it is not just a bunch of women who got together to bash something going on, but it is really meat for how society can learn, not only women, but men also, because men support the women in their lives too. And thank you for, like, we all, each one of you, for being on this and using your brain power on it. Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I know we're on live and you guys don't see the conversations that this panel has behind the scenes, but this group of women is just phenomenal. Like the brain, the brilliance, like I say brilliance all the time, but I mean it every single time. The brilliance that's on this panel is just out of this world, more than I could have ever dreamed to be surrounded by. So like Dr. Farzana said, get your constellation. These ladies are each other's constellations, and the things that SHIP has already been able to accomplish has just been like mind blowing. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
This
Could I
was
say,
amazing. So really quick before we just being mindful of time, I want to recap the last day. Anne's day with the career, landing your dream job. Tell us, Anne, what was some of the main things that you were trying to get across on that day? Give us a recap.
I'm happy to do it, but before I do, I want to get a ship pun out there. Us ladies have formed a partnership.
Anne is like really famous for these puns, everyone who's tuning in. Like, I'm surprised this is the first one for this like 26 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the first one today. She did like 3 earlier today.
Probably not. Well, it's once we started talking about, like, when we had, and I'll deviate for a little bit, but we had a brainstorming meeting when we were thinking about this panel, and we started talking about mentorship and allyship and leadership and sponsorship and the differences between them. And like SHIP just kept popping up everywhere. And we even talked about like trying to get the panel on a cruise ship. So if you work for a cruise company and you want to bring us in to do some speaking, we are 100% in for this. We would love to come on your cruise ship. That would be amazing.
Or like,
just putting
or like for NASA, right? For a rocket ship too.
Rocket ship.
We
in
can do all the ships.
Yeah. All the ships.
And if we can do a European cruise and Alaskan cruise, that will even be better.
I like
we have
it.
to put it out there to the universe.
Just put it out there.
All right.
We have a lot of fun on this ship, and we are available to a port near you. Okay. And tell us more about our last, and not least, our definitely our last session on finding and landing your dream job.
Yeah, I will recap this in 30 seconds or less. So we had Nancy and I had 3 main points. One was, how do you talk to yourself about yourself? How do you talk about yourself to other people? And then the third one is, how do you commit to your personal and professional goals? So some of my favorite quotes around this, like how to talk to yourself about yourself. Nancy said, choose the thoughts that empower you. And I mentioned one of my favorite quotes, which is, if you talk to your best friend like you talk to yourself, would your best friend be friends with you? Right? Like, you have to become your own best friend. And then for communicating how you talk about yourself to other people, you are not bragging. You are just communicating your value and your skills and what problems you can solve to other people so they can find you. Like, people are looking for you, right? You can't have your meet cute with you and a client or you and a potential employer if you're not open and honest about what you bring to the table. And the third thing is committing to your personal and professional growth. Kirsten, this is a quote that you I wrote it down from your session, and you said, you are never done. You are always a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, because that's how I feel all the time, where it's like, I wake up, I'm like, what am I going to learn today? How am I going to improve myself today? So we're never actually really done with our own growth. We just need to take the time and define and invest in ourselves.
Exactly.
Continuous improvement. Oh my goodness. So much goodness is happening on this ship. And it doesn't stop with the 5-day summit. We have some special announcements for you guys, because this ship is only just launching. Kristen, do you want to do because you worked on this
first one?
announcement.
Okay. I would love to ship the idea of this to everyone. We have a new website, and you can go check it out. It's shehasinfinitepotential.com. And if you're ever wondering, how fast can you do something? Demand dictates speed, because we're like, oh no, people are looking for a website. We'll make one in 24 hours. So
what do you mean, you did? You made it in 24 hours.
You did.
I did have some help, but yes. So thankfully the text was already written. But we're excited. Go check it out. We're going to be adding some new things really soon. And if you're interested in how to contact us, everything is on there.
Yes. And why, Anne, would somebody want to contact the ship?
Oh, well, you can hire us to come speak at your organization. So I have a little pitch. We're developing workshops. We all speak about different things. We bring different areas of expertise to the table. You can hire us as a group. We'll come and do a panel. We'll come and do a workshop. or 3 workshops or 5 workshops. You can bring us in for half a day. You can bring us in for a full day. Like, we want to come and spread our knowledge and help empower other women in their careers. And by the way, March is Women's History Month. It would be a great time to bring us in. So you can contact us there, and we're going to work with you and figure out, match the programming that we can bring and the expertise that we can bring to what you need at your company.
Absolutely. And I just want to highlight that, it's not just going to be a regular workshop. You've seen this summit. You've seen the recap today. These women, like us as a panel, as a collective, really elevates the professionalism and the content that comes with the ship. So if you're looking for just a regular DEI speaker to check the box, you're going to get way more than what you bargained for when you call us, because we are coming full production, right? Full value, full energy, because we understand that the women in your organization have potential. And for you to get the return on all of your employees, for them to feel fulfilled and to see their full value, it takes us being the catalyst, right? And we know that that is our responsibility and our charge, and we are excited to fulfill that to the highest level. Patty is asking, are you doing more sessions as well? Oh, Patty,
yes,
perfect
we
timing.
are.
Patty with the perfect timing, because we are doing so our next announcement. So for February, March, and leading into the rest of the year, we are going to start doing weekly LinkedIn Lives where we either interview amazing, influential women, where we unpack some of these critical conversations and topics, where we provide you with actionable ways that you can move forward and tap into your infinite potential. So I want you to follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on YouTube, follow us on, I think those are the 2 places. Follow the ship wherever the ship goes, because we want to be leading you to your fullest potential. So keep an eye out for those weekly LinkedIn Lives, because we've got a schedule that's coming around the corner, and it's going to be starting in just a couple weeks, and it is going to be phenomenal. So thank you, Patty, for that question.
We've got really something special cooked up for Women's History Month.
Yes.
We have a really great theme, and we're starting to book some really amazing guest speakers. So please keep a lookout for that. We're going to have our LinkedIn Lives mostly on Thursdays and Fridays, depending on speaker availability. We're going to try to keep it then, but it'll at least be once a week.
Yes. Well, I think that we have run our time for today, and I just want to thank everybody for joining us on our 5-day summit, today's recap, for supporting the ship as we get this launched. And we look forward to working with you and your organization. We look forward to seeing you all on future LinkedIn Lives. And as your captain, I guess we're signing off until next time. Ship it.
We got to dock the ship. We'll see y'all later.